What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our aABL Week 7 match. This week we are taking on Young and Ather, or Andy, and his Louisiana Larvitars. You'll notice he's got one win on us and quite a bit of differential, but I think this is a very winnable game. I think I have a solid matchup going into this, so let's run through his team really quickly here. He has Tapu Fini, Alolan Muck, Rotom-Heat, Chestnut, Licky Licky, Honchkrow, Rhydon, Mega Scizor, Hydreigon, Alakazam, and Golurk. All three are his Z users, and Sigilyph. I wasn't expecting Rhydon, Golurk, or Chestnut. He did end up bringing the Rhydon and the Golurk, which baffles me still. Even after the game, it baffles me that he brought his ground types against my team. There is no reason why he would bring them besides Stealth Rocks. I think against my team, they just aren't good at all. I want to say, like, I have so many immunities and resists to these Pokemon that it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why he would bring them, but either way they're there, so I felt in Team Preview that made it a lot easier. In fact, in Team Preview, it looks a lot like Rotom-Wash is just going to be able to clean up his team by clicking Hydro Pump at a certain point. No Alolan Muck makes that a hell of a lot easier. No Tapu Fini means I don't have to click electric moves necessarily. And because he brought both ground types, I can't freely click electric moves necessarily either. Licky Licky's a problem. Mega Scizor I was kind of expecting, kind of not expecting. I'm slightly surprised to see it here because it just doesn't do anything except for Revenge Kill Mega Gardevoir and Weavile, which is maybe why he brought it in the first place, was to Revenge Kill those, but then I have Serena for it. I'm running a specific Mega Scizor check set with Fizdef with Tangaberry to be able to tank like a Bug Bite if he's SD or something like that, and then Endeavor. Rotom-Heat is not looking like that big of a threat in my opinion because I've got Rotom-Wash, Nidoking, and Incineroar to be able to tank its hits. A Selgor isn't looking as good as I had hoped it would be. I was really hoping something like Hydreigon would come. Excuse me, or Selgor. Sorry, Chestnut, so that I could use a Selgor a little bit better. Weavile is looking like it might have been a really good option for me this game. Being able to like Pursuit Trap Alakazam could have been really useful because Alakazam looks like a threat. And yeah, so Alakazam and Golurk are Z mons that he can bring, and I'm going to lead Rotom-Wash because if he wants to lead Rhydon or whatever, I can just Hydro Pump it in the face. If he wants to lead Golurk, same thing. I don't know what else he would want to lead, but I'm going to lead Rotom-Wash. Oh, actually, I should talk about my team real quick. If you haven't seen my team builder, that'll be uploaded right before this one. Again, we're Fizdef, Tankaberry, Serena. We're Life Orb, 3 attack, Nidoking. Fairly standard-ish Mega Gardevoir set. We're Assault Vested Incineroar with Fire Blast. We're Specs Selgor, and we're Scarfed Rotom-Wash. So let's get right into things. I'm going to lead Rotom-Wash as he's going to lead Mega Scizor. I'm going to just Volt Switch on out of there as in comes the Licky Licky, and we see that that thing is especially defensive. I decided to Volt Switch turn 1 because there's no way that he's bringing in Rhydon or Golurk on Rotom-Wash turn 1 when I could very easily not be Scarfed locked and click Hydro Pump on them and kill them the next turn. So Volt Switch seemed pretty free, and I get a decent amount of scouting here on the Licky Licky as we are going to go into our Serena on this thing just to get a knockoff on this thing, sort of get rid of its leftovers and get some of that residual recovery gone. That'd be really nice, actually. As he's going to go back into Mega Scizor on my knockoff, I don't know what he was predicting there. I actually felt Golurk was the play because Serena runs high jump kick sometimes, and that could have been what I was trying to hit the Licky Licky with, or he could have protected with Licky Licky to scout for the high jump kick. I think that might have been the play instead. But instead he takes some damage on the Scizor, obviously not a whole lot. Looks to be fairly standard Mega Scizor. Pardon my yawning. I'm just going to U-turn out here thinking that I'm going to tank a U-turn and get momentum, but he's actually slower than I am. And I can't remember the exact amount of speed that I was running. Let's see. I can't remember the exact amount. Oh, I was running a little bit of speed. I think I was outrunning. Yeah, so I was outrunning no speed Mega Scizor, which was probably a mistake. I should have not been running that speed, maybe. Oh well. We know that he's no speed at least, so he's probably max HP, max attack, adamant, as he's going to get his own U-turn off on my Incineroar here. Which weakens my Incineroar a little bit and gets Rhydon in for free, which is really bad. I get a crit on the Rhydon, which doesn't really matter as I bring him out Rotom-Wash, and he's just going to get his rocks up. I predict his Licky Licky here to tank my Rotom's hit, and I go into my Serena. Now I'm going to knock off again as he's going to protect, and then this turn I'm predicting him to go back into Mega Scizor, so I'm going to U-turn out again. As he actually goes into Rotom-Heat instead. Maybe wanting to lose the Scarf on Rotom-Heat for some reason as I go into my Rotom-Wash. Rotom-Wash obviously threatens this out. He doesn't switch on me as I Volt Switch. Hydro Pump would have killed him, by the way, because we saw from that U-turn damage that he was offensive Rotom-Heat. He was no bulk. So I should have clicked Hydro Pump, and Hydro Pump was honestly relatively safe at that point in the game. Could have gotten rid of Rotom-Heat pretty early. It would have been fairly helpful for later, but I'm just going to get a Volt Switch into something. I can't remember what I go into here. Incineroar, I think, as he's going to Volt Switch himself. And that's probably a bad play, but I really had nothing to tank an Overheat. I was thinking about going into Nidoking there to stop a Volt Switch, because that made a lot of sense in my Rotom-Wash, and that was probably the play, to be honest, because there's no way, like, there's just actually no way that you would ever click a Fire move with Rotom-Wash in front of you. So I think that was a misplay on my part, is not going to Nidoking on that turn, as he's just going to be able to get into his Alakazam. Now here, this Alakazam actually has to hit a Focus Blast to be able to kill me. So he's kind of risking his Alakazam, which in my opinion is his biggest offensive threat against my team that's left, based on a Focus Blast here. So I'm going to click U-turn, because it'll kill him if he misses the Focus Blast. And he's actually going to connect the Focus Blast, so quite unfortunate on my end. There's a reason it's named Focus Miss, as I'm just going to bring out a Selgor here to try and revenge kill this Alakazam. I'm just going to click Choice Specs Bug Buzz, because that's kind of my play, as he's going to go into Licky Licky initially to scout, see what I want to do. He's got full health Licky Licky. It does some solid damage. Now he's just going to, I think he wishes this turn? Bug Buzz? No, he Body Slams. Trying to get the paralysis on me or something. Another Bug Buzz kills this Licky Licky, so I'm just going to do it again, and obviously I can't switch in on rocks anymore, and I didn't bring the removal. Sorry, I brought removal in Serena, but, excuse me, with a Ghost type on his team too, I don't necessarily think there's a way that I can get my Selgor in without, I don't think there's a way I can get a Selgor in later, so I'm just going to click Bug Buzz again on his Mega Scizor. It's doing quite a bit of damage. And I'm just going to do it again to weaken him, as he's going to show the Roost here. And now he Bullet Punches me and kills me. Not a big deal. I can go to Nidoking and revenge kill this thing. Nothing can switch into my Nidoking. Sorry, nothing can switch into Nidoking's Flamethrower into another move from Nidoking. And the only thing that would want to switch in is Alakazam, because it would outspeed me, and he doesn't want to switch in Alakazam to take free damage, especially if he's sashed. So I'm just going to be able to revenge kill this Mega Scizor here with Nidoking. Pretty good. Another kill for Nidoking is pretty helpful. In comes the Alakazam to revenge kill me. I don't really have a good way to deal with this now outside of, I don't know, Rotom, I guess, which outspeeds this. So I'm actually going to make the stupid play and go into Gardevoir here to tank the Psychic. And then I was calculating Shadow Ball, and if he's Life Orb, it kills me, so I wasn't entirely sure. He didn't actually have to be Life Orb to kill me there, but I wasn't entirely sure. I actually didn't click the Mega Evolve button because I'd canceled my move, so unfortunately I forgot to click the Mega Evolve button. I don't think it mattered. The difference between Mega Gardevoir living and regular Gardevoir living, Mega Gardevoir didn't live that Shadow Ball anyways, so I just sacked Gardevoir for no reason, which was actually a pretty big misplay on my part. I think I should have gone Serena and then brought in Gardevoir on something else, because it was faster than everything not named Rotom as well. So now I have to go into Serena. I can tank a Psychic and I can knock this thing off, which hopefully will kill it, and it doesn't. This is 95% because he's holding a Z Crystal, so it's reduced damage, I believe, from the Z Crystal. I'm sorry, I'm assuming he's holding a Z Crystal, otherwise this Alakazam should be dead right here and won't get a chance to come in later. I actually think the Alakazam should have been dead by missing a Focus Blast, but, you know, I can't, you know, the rule's in his favor to hit the Focus Blast, that's whatever. Again, I really should have switched in Nidoking on the Rotom-Heat. That was kind of a big mistake, and ended up costing me a lot, just because Incineroar could have walled the Rotom-Heat a little bit more. Incineroar could have pressured the Licky Licky with Superpower as well, so, and the Mega Scizor wouldn't have been able to do much, and I could have Fire Blasted it, so, you know, lots of misplays on my part with the Incineroar, but here, you know, Serena not picking up this kill is kind of important in the long run because Alakazam's the biggest offensive threat to my team still. It can revenge kill my Nidoking, which is a huge problem for me. So now he's just going to kill me with the Psychic. I clicked U-turn in case he choked. Rotom-Wash is going to come out here. I have to kind of like click Hydro Pump, and I miss on the Licky Licky. That's actually really big in the grand scheme of things because that Hydro Pump I think would have killed this Licky Licky. And then I'm in a better position with Rotom-Wash because I can just keep clicking Hydro Pump until I die. Or sack the Nidoking off to the Alakazam at some point and be able to click Hydro Pump again. So that's really bad that missed. Another roll that is actually in my favor and I missed, so I'm sad about that. Licky Licky's going to be able to get like a wish off or something here. Okay, so here what I should have done is expecting the Protect or something, I should have clicked Stealth Rocks. I actually clicked Sludge Wave this turn, which is the correct play. He goes for the Body Slam trying to paralyze me, and he gets the Wish back. This turn, I'm not sure, I can't remember if he wishes again. Sludge Wave is the correct play here, so I'm going to go for it again. He does Protect, and then he's going to Wish Protect again, I think. Yeah, so he's going to Wish this turn, and then I'm going to click Sludge Wave again. The correct play this turn was to get Rocks up, because then it gives me some valuable chip on things. Alakazam's probably Magic Guard, so it won't matter, but if he didn't prep his Alakazam properly, then Alakazam's dead. Rotom's taking 25%, which could be really useful based on the HP that's at. Maybe I'll be able to kill it with a Thunderbolt with Rotom, who knows. So Rocks was the play, and unfortunately I just clicked Sludge Wave instead. And he's going to get the HP back on Golurk, which doesn't really matter. I get an Earth Power crit here, which claims another kill for Nidoking on the Golurk. Not the biggest thing, but Alakazam can come in here and revenge kill me. I don't think the Golurk was really doing anything that game. It clearly didn't outspeed my Nidoking. I'm not sure how much the crit mattered. I didn't actually calc it to see how much that crit mattered on the Golurk. Again, I don't think the Golurk was really doing anything in the game, so I'm not really sure that it was a crit that mattered anyways. But Alakazam gets to revenge kill me here, and now I have to hit, I think, depending on what the Licky Licky's at, now 36%, so, you know, I basically have to hit 4 Hydro Pumps in a row with my Rotom now. So what I'm going to do is click Hydro Pump and actually revenge kill the Alakazam, which is pretty good. In comes the Rotom-Heat. He's going to win the speed tie. So we saw earlier that I won the speed tie and I was scarfed max speed to speed tie, scarf max speed Rotom-Heat, and he wins the speed tie this time. This damage this time is really big. The 52% is pretty massive because now it means that Licky Licky can revenge kill me with Body Slam. So I'm going to Hydro Pump the Rotom and I'm going to kill it. So I just need to hit 2 more. In comes the Licky Licky. The thing is if this takes Rocks, then it dies to this Hydro Pump, even after a Protect. Or if I actually had managed to knock off its leftovers at some point, then that was the play. But unfortunately, he's going to get the Protect. He's going to get up to a better amount of HP on his Licky Licky. And now he's going to be able to live this Hydro Pump unless it's a crit. That Hydro Pump does a lot less than I was expecting. It only did 27. So missing that Hydro Pump, the first Hydro Pump on Licky Licky, I think mattered a lot, and we're actually going to end up losing the game 2-0 to Andy. I'm slightly salty about this, but more so as a grand scheme sort of salt, like my whole season salt. I feel like I lost this game to RNG. I feel like I played this game well enough to be able to win. And I put myself in a position where Rotom just had to click one move at the end of the game. Again, I think that was kind of a big misplay on my part, not reading the Rotom-Heat, clicking the electric attack, and going in and Nidoking. Because then Nidoking gets a free hit off, or it gets Rocks up for free, and that also could have been huge. Because that from there, he's not switching into Alakazam to tank a Nidoking hit, right? So he has to switch into something else to take a Nidoking hit, and then I get chip damage potentially on the Licky Licky, which could matter in the end game or anything like that. I'm a little bit sketched out about the Alakazam hitting the Focus Blast. There's been a lot of Focus Blasts actually hitting in the aABL this season, which is not something that you normally see from the move, and it's being run quite a few times. I misplayed with the Gardevoir as well. I should have gone into Serena. For some reason, I thought that keeping Serena around was better just because I had Endeavor, and maybe to spin away the rocks or something like that. But Gardevoir was arguably the better choice there because I could have at least Destiny Bonded something like the Licky Licky or something like the Alakazam. I don't know, something like the Rotom. Who knows? And I had the move coverage to be able to hit his team pretty well on the Gardevoir. So again, that was another misplay, is not sacking the Serena and instead sacking my Gardevoir, basically. What I should have done, again, was switch into Serena and then click U-turn. I think, or then click knockoff in case you wanted to switch into Licky Licky at that point. Because then Gardevoir can come in, it can tank a Shadow Ball from Mega Alakazam, or sorry, from not Mega Alakazam, from regular Alakazam, and it can deal with everything else, except for the Rotom, which is then forced to click an electric type attack, or if it clicks Overheat to kill me, then Rotom-Wash comes in for free. So, or Nidoking comes in for free actually as well. So, I think despite my misplays, I still could have won this game, just based on some RNG, but the misplays did matter a lot. This puts us now to 2-5 -8. That's not really a record that I'm comfortable with. I don't think I can make playoffs. There's still 3 weeks left, but I'm not sure if I can make playoffs at this rate. I was like 1 spot out right underneath Andy in our division, and I'm hoping that I can maybe claw my way back in playoffs. It's not the biggest deal. I haven't been super comfortable with this team. I was a big fan of Mega Gardevoir coming in, and I just haven't been able to use Mega Gardevoir well. I don't think I've built a good team around Mega Gardevoir, forcing things, like I've been forcing things to run a lot of Scarfs with like Weavile, Minior, and a Selgor with their speed tiers. So I'm a little bit sketched out about that because, something doesn't necessarily have to run a Scarf if I have like a base 110 Mon as my fastest, or just Minior as my fastest or something, right? But I think with a lot of things running Scarves instead to be able to outspeed Mega Gardevoir, it's been kind of lackluster just because it's not being able to two-hit KO things trying to switch in on it, and people aren't trying to switch in on it for some reason. I guess because they know that they just can't switch into the Hyper Voice, they just are opting to not. Anyways, that's enough out of me. Next week we play Ruben and his Dallas Cobalions. That'll be a fun one. I know Ruben hasn't been having the best success this season. Actually, let me check out what his record is as of week 6. He has not been having the best. He's 1-5 -22. He's tied for 7th in the division. At this point, we're only 1 game up on him. I'm not sure about his week 7 match. I don't think he's played that yet, but he could potentially be tied with us next week at 2-5. So we'll have to win that game to be able to pull ourselves out of this. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say on my end, I don't think anymore. We've got one very difficult match left. We play Ruben and his Dallas Cobalions, and then we play the Denver Rapidash, let me just check who the Denver Rapidash coach is. It is Echo Reaver. And then we play the Boston Bronzongs, coached by Jake Stemmet, who is undefeated at this point in the season that I know of, and he's got the best differential in the league as well, so I'm a little bit scared for that match. I think that's week 10, and that could be the match that decides our playoff hopes. So keep an eye out for that, and I will catch you guys on the next one.